Hey everybody, it's GoNix14. I am back from a crazy long week. I was in New York about a week and a half ago. Then when I came back here, went back to work, and on top of that, I was also watching the Giants beat the crap out of Carolina down at Bank of America Stadium. But enough of that. I am back starting a new series on my channel. We'll be doing the Madden 13 Connected Careers Coach Mode. Basically, Madden 13's answer to the previous version's Dynasty Mode. And since it gives me the option of creating a coach, I will be creating myself, Coach Go Nix, as the aspiring master strategist, taking over the head coaching job of the Arizona Cardinals, which was previously coached by Ken Wisenhunt. And as you can see here, we're just going to run quickly into the creation of my coach here. I'm going to put in the name Coach Go Nix, and we're going to do the importing of the game face that EA has been so cool to put into this year's model, so you can see it actually looks like me. I think it's a pretty accurate picture based on what I took. I was looking for it close the way. I was thinking about doing casual with the t-shirt, but I'm going to stick with the polo. And as you can see, I'm more of a run offensive quarterback. Coach. We're going to go ahead and jump into preseason week 1 action as we take on Kansas City in Arrowhead Stadium. They've got Matt Castle as their starting quarterback, and they've also got, I believe, Brady Quinn as their backup. For Arizona, it's going to be a tough job trying to figure out who my starting quarterback is going to be because I got John Skelton, who was listed as a starter for this game, but I've also got Kevin Kolb as the backup, and even third string, I got Ryan Lindley from San Diego State. So we're going to go ahead and jump halfway through the first quarter with Skelton as a quarterback. He finds Andre Roberts for a huge gain. It's going to be about 32 yards there on that catch and run, as that brings us deep into Kansas City's territory with that nice pass. As you can see here, in the one-on-one coverage, he uses the double move to break off right as Skelton gets to space to make the catch, and he's got the speed. Definitely going to be a big name besides Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd. So here we go, Beanie Wells still on the first drive with a nice run there, keeping the momentum going. He had 34 rushing yards by that time in the game on 4 carries. So between him, Stevens Howling, and Ryan Williams, I should have a decent running back. It's just a matter of my offensive line being able to block for them. The drive ends up stalling, and we get a field goal out of it. So Arizona takes a 3 nothing lead early. But Kansas City will strike back right back with Jamal Charles, who is lightning quick in this game. As you can see, he blows by the Arizona defenders, and I had no chance of catching him. And Kansas City strikes back and takes a 7-3 lead. As you can see here, he's dancing all over our guys. That hole is ridiculously wide open for Charles to get through. As you can see here on the replay, he just cuts to the outside, and then he just smokes everybody for the touchdown. It's something I'm going to have to work on because throughout this game you will see that my run defense was very porous. And so was the passing game as Skelton throws an interception on the next drive inside our own red zone. So that gives Kansas City the ball very, very short field. And I was trying to show the replay on this one, but as you can see here, the little slow-mo replay is kind of, I'm not a fan of it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. As you can see here, the Kansas City defender skies up for that touchdown. So Kansas City now has the ball late in the first quarter still, and Charles is gonna elude about 6-7 tackles before he fumbles the ball, and Arizona picks it up. I couldn't read the name of the guy who picks up the fumble there, but as you can see, Charles broke a few tackles before number 25 popped the ball loose and then picks it up, and 28 picks it up for you for the fumble recovery. We don't get any points out of it, and Kansas City will get the ball back, driving down the field once more. They hand it off to Peyton Hillis, who eludes about 3-4 tacklers, busts down the line, and he gets a touchdown for the Chiefs. 2 rushing touchdowns already for Kansas City as they go up 14-3. And like I said, our run defense is going to be something I'm going to be taking a lot of time working on through scouting and developing players, and looking for people who can not do that. Basically, as you can see, 51 just falls flat on his face after Hillis had already gotten by him. So let's not have any more embarrassments like that for the rest of the season, hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to be a long year if I can't stop the running game. So here you can see with the extra point attempt, they're going to kick it up, and it's going to be good, giving Kansas City the 14-3 lead as we start the second quarter. Peyton Hillis, he dominated my team. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So after a 3-and-out, Arizona Cardinals are going to punt the ball away. And I just want to show you this little quick foolishness because AJ Feely was in as my punter, and for some reason the kickers can't punt and the punters can't kick. So I gotta remember that they do that in preseason games. Kansas City, of course, will get a field goal out of that because again they got short field, so now they're up 17-3, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. And late in the second quarter, they're gonna get another field goal, so that lead just swells up. So now they're up 20-3. And we got to do something. Our offense is getting too slow. We're not getting anything out of it. But on the suing kickoff, we're going to kick it out to Andre Roberts, my speed man in the slot position. As he finds a hole, he cuts over to the right, and he is gone. There's no one on Kansas City that's going to catch him. As he runs back to kick return for the touchdown, as you can see him celebrating right before he crosses the end zone, cutting into Kansas City lead and making it a 20-10 ball game. There you go, Coach Knicks celebrating about that. Pretty happy about that one. So now Kevin Kolb's in the second quarter, winding down, and he runs out to the outside and he throws the interception to Brandon Flowers, the cornerback. He was looking for, I believe that was Andre Roberts coming across the middle, but he threw it way too late. He threw it right at Brandon Flowers. As you can see, the play action fake. Couldn't find anyone who's rolling out, and he throws it right into the hands of Brandon Flowers. No, that wasn't. That was Todd Heap he was trying to throw it to, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Todd Heap who's the running? No, what the hell am I talking about? I don't even know. I forget who our tight end is. That's kind of bad. But on the ensuing possession for Kansas City, it's Peyton Hillis straight up the middle. And I hate that so much about Madden and NCAA 13. I feel like when you switch defenders, that defender will well, not automatically, but whatever way you're controlling the uh, the stick, it'll give you the defender who's on the opposite side of the ball, so you automatically move your defender backwards. Um, So that happened. And Kansas City goes into halftime with a 27-10 lead. As you can see, they're dominating us on the rushing game with over 200 rushing yards already in the first half, even though Arizona is leading the time of possession. But over here, Ryan Williams will show us we got a running game ourselves as he and Kevin Kolb try downfield on their opening drive of the third quarter before punching in for touchdown. I left Kevin Kolb in because I just wanted to see him, do something positive. So now we put in the third string quarterback Ryan Lilly, and guess what he does? He throws an interception. So all three of my quarterbacks have thrown an interception already this game, which is not looking good because none of them is making a case that they want to be a starter. And for the sake of things, I am keeping Lindley in the running. If Lindley shows that he can be more stable than Skelton and Call, then I would definitely put Lindley as my starter and start developing him to be the starting quarterback for Arizona. But as you can see, that pass is definitely not going to help us. He was trying to throw it straight over the middle and just didn't work with the man coverage that Kansas City had. So Kansas City is going to drive downfield and they're going to add on to this 10-point lead as Brady Quinn drops back to pass and hits Tony Moriarty, who gets. I thought it was a touchdown right there, but they say he was down at the 1-yard line. But Brady Quinn's like, okay, if he's down at the 1-yard line, then this is a touchdown. Throws it over the middle to Dexter McCluster, who is too fast for those second string and third string defensive players that I had in the game at the time. Because, yeah, as you can see, he just blows right there on a slant route to give Kansas City a 34-17 lead as they double up on Arizona. And that's actually going to do it and be your final score of the game. In the first preseason game of the season, Kansas City is going to hand Arizona a loss by the score of 34-17. As you can see, Romeo Corral heading over to the middle of the field to shake hands and whatnot at the end of the game. Normal player talking to each other and giving the little handshakes. Good sportsmanship as we would like to have, at any point in any league of football. But I am disappointed with the run defense. As I said before, that's something I'm definitely going to be working on throughout the season. And, again, some of these NFL running backs, I'm definitely going to have a hard time if that's going to be the one thing I have to look forward to. But Arizona's going to be a building project. I like the fact that I don't have a quarterback set in stone, and I don't, just something to work for. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be, too hard where I'm like 0-16 every year. As you can see, Kansas City had 279 rushing yards in the game. It kind of eased up on us in the second half, but, still 3 turnovers for Arizona, just 2 for Kansas City. All of our turnovers were interceptions. And we were 2 for 4 in the red zone. But we did lead the time of possession 30 minutes and 20 seconds to their 29 minutes and 40 seconds. Brady Quinn there struggled. He was just 7 for 20 for 114 yards, while Matt Castle was 2 for 2 for 34 yards there. I believe Quinn was the only one to throw a touchdown, but he also threw an interception in the game. Um, as you can see, the rushing game, Peyton Hillis had 23 carries for 191 yards. Yes, you're reading that right. He averaged 8.3 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. Tony Moriarty led the way in the receiving game, 3 catches for 58 yards. Dexter McCluster had the touchdown. Kevin Boss had 2 catches for 34 yards. No big names there. No Dwayne Bowe. No Baldwin's not against it anymore. No, but Dwayne Bowe didn't have any catches in there. And as you can see, Brandon Seiler led the way with 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Brandon Flowers had 5 tackles. And he also had an interception in this game, as you can see here. He also had 2 sacks. The fact that their cornerback had 2 sacks, I'm not happy about that at all. I'm going to need some better blockers on this team. Kevin Cobb was 10 for 15. Ryan Lindley was 8 for 16, and John Felton was 3 for 8. Cobb threw the most. I think it was 112 yards if I'm reading that right, but all 3 of my quarterbacks threw an interception, none of them threw a touchdown. Ryan Williams had the most carries and not the most yards yet. 9 carries, threw for 28 yards and touchdown. B.D. Wells had 45 yards on 7 carries. That's something to look forward to. And then I had Javaris James and Rod Stevens howling split carries in the second half. LaRon Bird had 5 catches for 47 yards, and Andre Roberts had that 1 catch that we saw. Terrell Robinson had 4 catches for 39 yards. Most of this was, mop-up duty in the second half, and just throwing the ball out to you get the other guys. And it was Todd Heap that I was thinking of. For some reason, I thought Todd Heap was still in Baltimore, but that's right. They have Dennis Pitta and Ed Dixon. My mistake. I apologize about that. Paris Lennon had 6 tackles for Arizona to lead the way. William Gay, I believe he had the interception. Yes, he did have the interception for us. And then you can see Quentin Groves there with 3 tackles. So nobody had a sack for our defense. So that's what I was looking for. But next week we are going to take on Oakland back in Phoenix. So hopefully you guys will stick around and stay tuned for more Arizona Cardinals connected careers. All right, have a good day.